Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Families trusted her to clean their homes, then valuable items started to disappear. Now a former housekeeper is going to jail. Thanks for being with us, everybody. I'm Kimberly Gill.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Karen Drew in for Devin Skillion tonight. The families who hired Beata Tarnowska say they felt a bond with her, formed over several years, but their trust was betrayed. As Sean Lay reports today, some of those families showed up in court to make sure the judge understood what was taken from them.
We're here in Sylvan Lake. This impacted families here in Birmingham, West Bloomfield, over to Grosse Pointe. It's an incredibly emotional issue for these families. They trusted this housekeeper. They knew her for years, and she robbed them blind.
We are asking you to sentence her to the maximum possible sentence under the law.
Family after family sharing their betrayal.
My grandma left a pair of earrings for my daughter to wear on her wedding day, and my father adored my grandmother. She lived 105.
At the sentencing of Beata Tarnowska, a trusted housekeeper for dozens of families. Tarnowska is convicted of robbing them of their precious family heirlooms to the tune of more than $500,000.
All of his grandmothers and great-grandmothers' heirlooms that we had for generations, my kids will never get.
Wedding rings, diamonds, watches, cash, gone forever.
Beata felt entitled to our belongings, and we later learned that she was selling them at pawn shops, eBay, Craigslist, and Facebook.
Debbie Stein was one of those victims. She says Tarnowska also cracked safes when she was supposed to be cleaning.
Or she would just break in.
Break in a safe?
She'd break in a safe. She was very skilled. She knew what she was doing, and she was determined.
And Tarnowska was living large, expensive dinners, shopping trips, Celine Dion in Vegas.
Shame on you. Shame to your children that they have to live with this.
Back here live with an update. Those families went to the sentencing thinking that Tarnowska was going to get probation after they read their victim impact statements to the court, to the judge. The judge gave the housekeeper 11 months in jail, 3 years probation, Kimberly, with a behavioral program while behind bars to change her behavior. Also has to somehow make restitution, a restitution hearing scheduled for May. But the family's texting me even right now saying cash is gone, jewelry gone, everything is gone. Back to you.
Yeah, and speaking of those families, Sean, I understand that they feel that estimate of $500,000 in stolen items is low.
That's what police there could prove that Tarnowska took the $500,000 or more, about $570,000. Families believe it's more, as they added up, $2 million.
Incredible. Yeah. Okay, Sean, thanks.
We've got updating breaking news from Detroit's east side. We're getting a better sense of just what happened over on 7 Mile in Sherwood, where shots were fired at the scene of an accident this afternoon. Police Chief James White says this started as a road rage incident with shots fired between the vehicles. Well, police tried to do a traffic stop, and that's when the crash happened. And then one of the drivers fired shots at officers. Police returned fire. The suspect was hit either by that gunfire or by the gunfire from the road rage incident. He is hospitalized at this hour, listed in temporary serious condition. We'll update the story as we learn more.
It is unsettling to see people standing in line outside a bank branch hoping they can access their money. But with the failures of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank over the weekend, that's the situation some folks were in today. President Biden sought to ease concerns this morning.
First, all customers who had deposits in these banks can rest assured, rest assured they'll be protected and they'll have access to their money as of today. That includes small businesses across the country that bank there and need to make payroll, pay their bills, and stay open for business. No losses will be, and this is an important point, no losses will be borne by the taxpayers.
Consumer investigator, help me Hank Winchester is talking with the experts. He joins us live with more. And Hank, despite the president's assurances, this is a concern for investors and really everyday people as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a concern for everybody. I heard this news this weekend and I thought, is my money in my bank going to be okay? The good news in all of this, likely the answer, yes, for all of us. The bad news is looking ahead to the future. It seems unclear. The growing bank crisis concerning Signature Bank and Silicon Valley Bank both folding, investors stunned. The government watching this closely. The president speaking out this morning.
Every American should feel confident that their deposits will be there if and when they need them.
So what does this mean for you and for your bank? Here's Local 4 business editor Rod Maloney.
Everybody needs to be paying attention, okay? Watch this. But remember that FDIC insured means that anything above $250,000 in the bank isn't covered, although the government is covering that now. So chances are you, as the average bank depositor, don't have anything near where there's going to be a problem for you.
Rod says you're financially protected right now, but he and many others have concerns about the bigger economic forecast.
The real issue is that because the government has gone ahead and said, we're going to cover all of this, that if that is actually how they're going to handle this. Now we're looking at a bigger bank crisis. That's not here today, but it's something that could happen down the line.
As for how the collapse of these banks could impact you, look no further than the stock market. Here's Dewey Steffen with Great Lakes Wealth.
It has an immediate impact because uncertainty rules the day, and headlines on the stock market rule the day by day. And so long term, this will be fine. We went through 2008. That was the financial crisis. This is not a financial crisis.
So the bottom line is your money in your bank, it is likely safe. The concern is moving forward. What can we expect in the economy? And that is really unclear. That's why all financial experts, Rod, Dewey, the list of those that we talked to today, say it's really important for all of us to prepare for the uncertain future financially. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester, help me, Hank, back to you.
Certain is right. Okay, Hank, thank you.
A busy stretch of I-94 in Washtenaw County is going to be closed for several days after a truck hit a bridge. I want you to take a look at the damage over on eastbound I-94. This is at Liberty Road, the Liberty Road overpass in Ann Arbor. The eastbound lanes are closed from M14 to Ann Arbor-Saline. Traffic is being detoured to M14 to southbound US 23 and then back onto eastbound I-94. MDOT says emergency repairs will begin tomorrow. Could take up to 1 week. We'll know more as repairs get underway.
1 month after the shootings at Michigan State University, there are new security measures taking effect on the East Lansing campus. Key cards will now be required to enter most campus buildings from 6 in the evening till 7:30 in the morning. Some buildings will be closed on weekends. The university also adding more cameras to academic buildings and outdoor areas. Then starting in the fall, the university is putting a new lock system on 1,300 classroom doors. Also in the fall, the university will require all students and staff to complete active violence intruder training.
Some of Detroit's elected leaders took part in a protest today at the Spirit of Detroit over a proposed tax break involving the District Detroit. Priya Mann spoke with people on both sides of the debate. Joins us now live with a closer look at this issue. Priya.
And Karen, there's really two narratives here. The mayor's office say these new incentives do not come from tax revenues, and the developers actually have to build buildings before they see a dime. But critics, including the Democratic Socialists of America, who gathered today in protest, say these proposed plans do nothing to serve everyday Detroiters.
I'm urging the city officials, from the council to the mayor's office, stop gaslighting and lying to our residents.
Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib and opponents of the proposed District Detroit Olympia tax break voiced their concerns outside City Hall at the Spirit of Detroit, their anger directed at city officials and the Illich family.
They showed us these drawings of people walking their freaking dogs and all this stuff in this housing, and what do we end up with? Parking lots with obscene amount of cost for parking.
The city says District Detroit will invest $1.5 billion to develop 10 new buildings, adding 12,000 new construction jobs and 6,000 permanent jobs.
People are going to have a chance to vote on it very shortly. Everybody's entitled to express their opinion.
They promised that they were going to fundamentally change how downtown works, and we can look around and see that hasn't happened.
I wouldn't say not much has happened. You go see the new Little Caesars headquarters that's built there, the Mike Illich School of Business that's built there, the new apartment building that's built there. But the magnitude of what we need to do, Detroit hasn't seen in 100 years.
All the renderings they showed our community, we have not seen that actually fruition other than the stadium.
And that is the single most common complaint you hear from Detroiters when you're talking about the District Detroit. This issue will be taken up by committee on Thursday and could head to council as early as next week. And of course, we'll continue to follow this story. Reporting live downtown, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Priya.
Okay, well, we started the day with a little bit of snow. Things kind of clearing up a little bit.
Right, there was a little hope.
Yeah.
And then it kind of came in and got messy this afternoon, right?
It did.
Yeah, it's Michigan, it's March, right, Kim?
It did. It was just very wet, you know, when you're driving. It's snowing, but the road temperatures are well above freezing, so it just instantly melts and it gets a little messy on your windshield. Well, it's just light snow out there right now. We're not expecting it to get any heavier. It will, in fact, start to taper down over the next couple of hours. Temperatures right now are below freezing. Those are the air temperatures, but the road temps are above freezing. So again, everything is melting. However, after about 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, we could see some refreezing going on as those road temperatures start to fall, especially on bridges and overpasses. So if you travel after 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, just be mindful of that. Tomorrow, we're going to get some sunshine, but there's going to be a chill in the air tomorrow. Wind chills in the morning will be in the single digits. Sunshine in the afternoon will make it all the way to 34 degrees, but wind chills will make it feel like it's in the teens. We do look forward to some 50-degree weather, and I'll talk about that coming up. But if you want a sneak peek, you can always download the Forewarn Weather app and take a look for yourself as to what the weather's going to be like in your neighborhood. It's absolutely free. It's got all kinds of cool features on it, so go check it out. Just go to your favorite app store and type in WDI.